15 animals before giving birth. Procreation is beautiful and essential. In the cycle of life, from the cradle to the grave, just as every other member of the animal kingdom, we humans are born into this world in the same manner as lions, bears, and tigers. Well, not exactly the same way though, because these newborns come in some weird and wonderful forms. From dolphins to pregnant pandas, here are 15 animals before giving birth. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for the best daily videos. Elephant. To kick off this list, we should probably start with the largest land animal. Elephants, both African and Asian, are very huge, and their length in laborious pregnancies are no exception to their gigantic size. A typical elephant pregnancy lasts anywhere between 20 to 22 months, and that's the longest for any creature on Earth, and one that takes a hefty toll on the mother. To put it in perspective, elephants are pregnant for about 2.5 the amount of time humans are, which is a testament to the amount of time and energy an elephant mother exerts to produce her young. Recently, scientists have come to the amazing discovery as to why their pregnancies take so long. Believe it or not, it is down to the intense development of the elephant's brain. Essentially, the mother is making sure that her baby has all the smarts needed to survive in the wild before giving birth, and baby elephants' brains are amazingly well developed as compared to other animals. An elephant pregnancy is one of the most incredible scenes that can be captured in the wild, and herds of elephants will often form extravagant protective circles during childbirth. Caddy the giraffe. This entry is one to get you a little sentimental. Giraffes are pregnant for between 14 and 15 months, and for some unknown reason, female giraffes will feel compelled to return to where they were born when they become pregnant. Being one of the tallest animals on Earth comes with its own set of difficulties when giving birth, and the mother giraffe delivers her young from a standing height, and that's a long way down. Don't you worry though, the baby giraffe is built to withstand this fall. They are born at over 6.5 feet with their feet facing downward. This isn't common with animals, but baby giraffes can walk from the moment they are born, though they might be a little clumsy. Let's look at when Caddy the giraffe gave birth when he was captured live on camera at the Dallas Zoo. It's an astonishing example of how efficient a giraffe birth can be, and the baby was walking and running around with astounding poise just 2 hours after being born. How is that for survival instincts? CALAYA the gorilla. Being our closest living relative, it shouldn't surprise you that the gorilla's pregnancy is similar to ours. Only in some ways though, because in others we are worlds apart. The average gorilla pregnancy lasts relatively the same amount of time, roughly about 9 months. Same as humans, the mood swings of the mother are very visible, often going from loving and gentle to frustrated and agitated in a short time frame. Also, just like other members of the great ape family, humans included, gorillas experience a fluctuation in weight gain, and some even experience some sequence of morning sickness. In some cases, pregnant gorillas also experience the same bizarre cravings as humans, and in captivity, expectant mothers have been noticed demanding of the many food like popcorn and biscuits. However, the most fascinating similarity is how gorilla mothers react with their newborns after birth, as captured in this amazing footage of a gorilla called CALAYA at the Smithsonian National Zoo. The first instance that a gorilla mother gazes in a newborn's eye is an amazing moment, one that is shared between all members of the great ape family. Tigers. Tigers are incredibly territorial animals, and the manner in which they bring their young into the world plays an integral role in how they also protect their kingdoms in the wild. This might be new to you, but tigers give birth to blind young, and newborn tiger kittens develop their sight slowly over a period of several weeks. Due to this fact, the tiger mother is always very careful in mapping out their territory throughout their pregnancy, and a comfort zone is mapped out extensively before bringing her children into the world. The gestation period of a tiger is about 16 weeks or 3.5 months, and a litter usually consists of 3 to 4 cubs. However, litters of up to 7 cubs have been common throughout history. In anticipation for her giving birth, the pregnant tiger will prepare a den deep within the most secluded area within her marked territory. Often, the mother won't readily leave her cubs in the den for at least the first 2 months of their lives, and if she needs to move them to a safer spot, she will carry them gently in her mouth at the back of their tiny necks, which is generally a dangerous place for most, but the safest place for a tiger's cub. Homeless Labrador. Dogs are known for their incredible loyalty to both their owners and to each other, and to their canine offspring. However, despite being the man's best friend, not all canines are born to this world in the safety of their owners' homes or in a vet clinic, and for some, these dangers are real. Such is the case with this heart-wrenching story when an animal charity based in Los Angeles named Home for Paws stumbled on a homeless pregnant Labrador dog living next to a busy highway. The charity had initially received a call from a concerned witness who had alerted them about two male dogs and a heavily pregnant dog trapped behind a chain belt fence. When they got to the scene, however, they realized that the Labrador was no longer pregnant, causing immediate concern as to the fate of her puppies. Not sure how to proceed, one of the shelter workers played a video recorded of puppies crying, and the result was amazing. Before they knew it, her maternal instinct kicked in, and the Labrador mother led the crew to a section of dense undergrowth where she was protecting her newborn puppies. Thankfully, after an extensive rescue operation, the entire den was rescued. A romantic land couple. Like many big cats, leopards in particular, extravagant mating rituals of lions can last 4 to 5 days, and during that time, they could mate up to 250 times. While that may seem a little excessive for us humans, there is a pretty good reason for this. In humans, female produce an egg every 28 days, and if it's not fertilized, the egg will be discarded. However, in the wilderness, where every bit of energy is important for survival, things are very different, and the act of producing something that isn't used is a complete waste of energy. Due to this fact, an extensive ritual of trial and error has to occur to ensure that fertilization takes place. Incredibly, the act of big cat mating is so cutthroat that current research suggests that female lions and leopards can instinctively tell whether or not a male is capable of remaining dominant in his territory for a long period of time. If the female determines that he's not, she has the ability to make herself less fertile, because if she conceives and the male is ousted from the territory, the new male will kill her existing cubs. If that happens, then she would have completely wasted her energy, eventually leading to her death. Things aren't easy in the wild. AI-HIN, the pregnant panda. When it comes to pregnancies, there's no other animal that has been intensely watched as the panda. The truth is, pandas are on the verge of extinction, and their reproductive rate has impossibly hit a roadblock, resulting in biologists and conservationists across the planet racing to come up with a solution, although the issue is incredibly complicated. For some reason, pandas just aren't mating. However, whenever a panda does get pregnant in captivity, it is a pretty big deal, and an extensive program to ensure the mother and child survival is put in place, which is the case with AI-HIN, who in 2014 became one of the most astonishing examples of a phantom pregnancy ever witnessed in a captive animal. Believe it or not, but it is thought that AI-HIN hormonally induced her own pregnancy in order to receive better food and care from her keepers. Generally speaking, after showing prenatal signs, the mothers-to-be are moved into single rooms with air conditioning and around-the-clock care, and they also receive more snacks, fruits, and bamboos. Apparently, AI-HIN wanted some of this good life for herself, and used this to her advantage. Phantom pregnancies are increasingly common amongst giant pandas, and some researchers believe that AI-HIN was exhibiting learned behavior. Leopards. Similar to tigers, leopards' young are also born blind, and are heavily dependent on their mother's protection for months after birth. While we know quite a lot on the behavior of female big cats during their pregnancies, the vast majority of them are relatively straightforward. Create a den, protect young, and kill hostile intruders. However, female leopards are very secretive, and are seldom recorded in the wild, especially when they are on high alert during their pregnancies, and as such the duration of their gestation periods vary. Typically, a female leopard will carry her young in her body for about 90 to 100 days, and the survival rate for the cubs is 50%, which has resulted in small litter sizes. For the first few weeks, the leopard mother will generally move her litter from one location to another, varying on the safety of their surroundings, and she'll fight till her death should a predator attempt to get them. After this period, the young leopards are then taught a great deal about hunting and survival. In about 3 months of age, they'll begin assisting her in hunting, which is really early for other big cats. By the time a leopard is 10 months old, it will have the skills and strength to care for itself, although it will remain with its mother for up to 18 to 24 months of age. This pregnant zebra couple. We've been so focused on the pregnant predators of the animal kingdom, maybe we should turn a little to the timid species that usually make up their diet. Take a look at this amazing footage captured in the Kruger National Park of South Africa. Poor a male zebra attentively cared for his pregnant female throughout the 12 months of her pregnancy. Typically, he will defend her until the child is born, even helping her to scratch the hard-to-reach areas of her body. Zebras in general are pretty exotic animals, but just like their raccoon cousins, their gestation periods are remarkably similar. Zebras are only found in the wilderness of Africa. Although they used to roam the entire continent, they are now only found exclusively in the south. There are actually 3 main zebra species, all of which have subspecies, and all of which can interbreed. There are the plant zebra, the gravis zebra, and the mountain zebra, and their behavior is almost identical to horses, donkeys, and wild asses. Horses. Speaking of wild horses, we should also turn our attention to these animals that have captured our hearts and imaginations in poetry and literature since the beginning of civilization. Although dogs are man's best friend, there's always been no trusty companion than the steed of a horse. Although pregnancy is usually a stressful period on animals, horses manage to keep their instinctual power. Generally, horses will carry their young for up to 11 months and almost exclusively have a single baby. Twins are almost unheard of, although they do occur. During the pregnancy period, the female horse maintains all her agility and strength. Under the care of a stable, a horse's birth is an incredibly intense period, assisted by human vets and assistants, and thanks to leading tech, most pregnancies are delivered without any complications. Did you know that it takes longer to give birth to a stallion than it does for a mare? Dolphins. Although dolphins are pretty much awesome, they've also been attributed some very weird habits. You must have heard that dolphins are also as deviant as humans when it comes to choosing a partner, and it seems their pregnancy behaviors are remarkably similar too. Their pregnancy lasts about 12 months. Mothers will double their intake of food, but unlike other animals, there is no actual mating season for dolphins. They mate every day, and about 90% of their mating activity is considered foreplay. Dolphins are indiscriminately amorous, and they develop relationships with both the opposite gender and the same gender without prejudice. Talk about LGBTQ rights. Although researchers aren't sure why, it is believed that this behavior is essential in keeping strong social bonds between dolphins. There is more than meets the eye when it comes to these interesting animals. Squirrels. Mischievous as they are, female squirrels are actually one of the most amazing mothers in the animal kingdom, and their job takes an incredible amount of expertise to ensure their offspring's survival. Have you ever wondered why you never see baby squirrels? Well, the thing is, baby squirrels don't leave their nest until they are fully furred and can survive on their own, by which time they are almost fully grown. Generally, breeding season for squirrels run from late August to late December, and it is heavily dependent on weather and food availability, meaning baby squirrels are born as late as mid-February or as early as mid-November. Most babies leave their nest in April or May after the mother has extended her winter fed, which she developed to ensure hers and her children's survival, during which time she feeds them exclusively on her milk. Macaques. Almost exclusively found in Asia and North Africa, there are over 23 species of macaques, all of which are incredibly different. They just so happen to raise their young in a very similar manner. Unlike other monkey species, macaque social groups are matriarchal, arranged around dominant females who dictate both the population of the growth and the mating habits. Boss ladies. The gestation period of a pregnant female lasts about 5 months, and during this time, the health of the social group plays an integral factor. Maternal health has no profound influence on infant development, and stress levels in females often yield to behavioral abnormalities in their young. Because of this, the rulership of the matriarchal leaders has a key influence in the health of its new generations. The old take care of the young and vice versa. Again, another view of the cycle of life. Sphinx cats. Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. Some people love Sphinx cats and some people hate them. I mean, a hairless feline isn't everyone's choice pick when it comes to a house companion, but that notwithstanding, those who are falling in love with these incredibly interesting and ancient animals often reap the rewards. While it comes with a lot of responsibility, Being a registered owner of Sphinx cats is a lucrative endeavor, and caring for the pregnant female is a round-the-clock experience. Take a look at this amazing footage captured back in 2018 of a pregnant Sphinx cat and her young rolling around in her mother's stomach. It's like a party in there. Although the mother, affectionately named Pandora, is looking pretty chilled and relaxed, her kittens seem ready to take on the world. Seahorses. Finally, last on our list is one of the weirdest and most wonderful animals on earth. When it comes to pregnancies, pretty much no other animal does it like the seahorse, and that's because, well, it is the male's turn to carry the load. Although it sounds crazy, it is true that in seahorses and their close relatives, the pipefish, it is the males that get pregnant and give birth to their young. That will be fun to see in humans. Instead of growing the young in the uterus, the father will carry the young in a pouch similar to a kangaroo. During an elaborate mating ritual that sometimes lasts days, the female will swim to the surface and implant her bright eggs into the male's pouch, where he'll fertilize them and carry them until they are fully developed. Amazingly, after about 20 days, the male seahorse will give birth to about 1,000 babies at once. From a human's perspective, that's just creepy. There we have it, guys. 15 animals before giving birth. What did you learn from this video? Let us know in the comment section, and do not forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for new video alerts.